If you are looking to get access to high amounts of business funding, I'm talking on the line of $50,000 all the way up to $100,000. Yes. I'm talking to you, new LLC, or you, new sole proprietor. I'm talking to y'all as well. Yes, you can get the same amount of funding. Then this video is definitely for you. And trust me, I know there's a lot of information out there that could sometimes scare you away and also keep you on the right track. In this video, I'm gonna make sure that you're on the right track so you have everything aligned up to make sure that you get the business funding that you need. And I know you're probably wondering, how can I believe you and things of that nature? Well, I've been in the business game for over 4 years now and have access to almost over $100,000 in business capital where it comes to business credit cards, lines of credit, the list goes on, all right? So I'm gonna go ahead and give all the information to you. So go ahead, go get your pen and paper. I'll wait right here. And without further ado, let's dive in. All right, and before we get started, ladies and gents, I wanna ask if you don't mind hitting that like button for me, as it helps my channel out a ton. I really appreciate all you guys' support. Now, enough of me rambling, let's get back to this business funding. Now, on this channel, I like to always keep it real with everybody that watches it. I try to keep the fluff to a minimum, all right? So with that being said, I want to put a disclaimer in this right now. This is for educational purposes only, and this video is for the people that's trying to access super high limit business funding from these actual banking institutions and specific lenders. And yes, you're going to see why I say that, but I just want to give that disclaimer right now. Now, the first part into making sure that you're set up properly to actually get this type of funding, whether you're a new LLC, 2 years old, 1, 4, 18, it does not matter. The first thing that you need is a reasonably high personal credit score. Now, hold on, wait, before you click off and say, I don't have that, I'm gonna try the different route. Just hang on, listen to me. I'm not telling you to have a perfect 800 credit score. You actually don't need that. I'm not even telling you in this video to have a 780. The only thing that I'm asking you to have is at least a 680 or higher with no serious negatives on your credit report. All right, people, that's what I'm asking for. I'm not even asking for a 710, a 700. I just need you to have at least a 680 with no serious derogatories on your credit report. Yeah, so with that information that I'm saying right now, no derogatories, that means that I'm stating no late payments, no charge-offs, no collections, bankruptcies, the list goes on. I'm talking about nothing super serious. If you have an inquiry here and there, that's fine. If your utilization is 30% or lower, that's fine. We could work with that. But anything over that, or you're playing with uncharted territory, and I don't want you to deal with that, all right? So with that being said, no derogatories on your credit report. And if you do have this on your credit report, then you need to get this off fast before pulling the trigger to trying to get business funding, because your personal credit is just as important when it comes to business funding. Why? Because you're going to have to PG majority of the stuff that you're getting, especially if you're a new LLC, all right? And trust me, I already know it's gonna be someone in the comment section that's gonna say, well, I know somebody that got funding despite having a 201 credit score and now they're rich, sipping mimosas on an island, blah, 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 blah. Look, I'm not saying it's not impossible, but I promise you, those people that got that type of funding with that low credit score, I promise you, it came with a super high interest rate. It came with more frequent payments throughout the month due to how bad their credit is, and more. Trust me, I've seen this a lot of times. And a lot of times with EIN funding, you have to already be generating income already coming out of your business. So if you have a low credit score, but if you're generating a specific amount of income every month, or you're keeping a specific type of daily balance, which I'll get into later, then we're talking a different ball game, all right? And you can actually prove it. We're not talking about no Cash App type stuff. When we even talking about EIN funding, most lenders want to see a specific number when it comes to your bank statements, and sometimes it's like 5,000 to 10,000 of a daily balance or more. Also, I just want to let you guys know as well, sorry to burst your bubble, but despite what others are telling you on social media, banks are not seriously looking at your Payex score when it comes to the driving force of giving you business funding or not. I know that's a heartbreaker, but I just wanted to let you know that right now. Now, am I saying not to establish one? No, I'm not saying that at all. Please establish a Payex score. I'm not saying that, but it's, again, not the main driving force in this process either. Banks want to look at your personal financials, business financials, and your personal credit score when it comes to this game called getting business funding. This is just coming from my experience of trying to access business funding and things of that nature. The things that they asked for was my articles of organization to make sure everything was set up correctly. They wanted to get, my personal information because of course I was going to have the PG. I was a brand new LLC. I think I was maybe like a few months in, not even. And then on top of that, they did pull my personal credit score. And thank God at that time when I got everything situated, I was maybe at like a 740 or something of that nature. They never once asked for my Payex score. And I had spent so much money on net 30s, net 60s, net 15s, buying toilet paper on business. It was crazy thinking that was what I needed. I'm glad I set it up because it showed that my business was structured correctly, but they never once asked for my Payex score. And I asked one of the individuals, I said, are you gonna look at it? I was like, no, not really. So I just wanted to give you that information right there. Now, again, I want to go into how you actually have to have your personal profile set up so you can access this high amount of funding, all right? So the first thing that I need you to understand when it comes to your personal credit profile is you need to have at least 3 to 5 revolving accounts on your credit report. And in those 3 to 5 accounts, I need you to have a credit limit of $10,000 or more. The reason why that I'm asking you to have at least a credit card with at least 10K limit is because when it comes to banking and lenders, a lot of times they like to mirror specific credit limits that you have on the personal side. And sometimes when it comes to the underwriters, they feel more safe giving you something similar that you have on one side, giving it to you on the other side. Because again, they deem it as, well, if they could take care of this, then we'll give them something similar. And if they do great with that, then we'll start increasing over time. But the next thing that I need you to have after those 3 to 5 accounts with the 10K credit card, I need you to also have 1 to 2 installment accounts as well on your credit report. But they can either be already active or you've had them in the past, that they're already showing positive, payment history and things of that nature. Installment accounts work just as well, especially if you're trying to get a business loan or things of that nature, because it shows that you can still be financially responsible with actual money that comes up front, not just off of a credit card, all right? So again, I know on this channel, I talk a lot about pledge loans because again, they're a hack. Well, they're gonna come in handy again right now. Because again, if you have a pledge loan on your credit report coming from Navy Federal, DCU Credit Union, or anywhere that you can get a secured savings loan without getting a hard inquiry on your credit report, that is a cheat code. Now, again, just to let you guys know, this isn't a make or break not having 1 to 2 installment accounts on your credit report, but again, it would definitely help. All right, it would be nice to actually have, and it also will display a strong credit profile. Especially again, if you've had like an auto loan or a mortgage loan, that would be super great. But again, it's not a super must. But if you want to take your credit profile to the next level, this will definitely help your chances. Having an installment loan is super beneficial. Now, again, even with all that information, a lot of people always ask me which business bank account they should get and how much should they put in the account and all this other type of thing. When it comes to your business bank account, I believe it really depends on, just your preference, how much you want to put, what can you put in there. Now, when I first started, I started with a Novo account. And I know I talked about Novo on my channel before, but again, it has great perks for startups and it has no fees. Because when it comes to these other institutions, sometimes you'll get fees if you don't keep a specific type of amount in your bank account and things of that nature. Novo really doesn't have that. It's great for startups and there really is no drawbacks. And they also help their credit account business owners actually get access to almost $75,000 in a business line of credit. So you're in line when you sign up for Novo to actually get a $75K business line of credit. And again, if you want to get started with them and you want to get approved, just go ahead and click the link in my bio. I promise you they'll set you up very nicely. So with all that information right there, it really doesn't matter. It just, whatever works for you in that situation. I promise you, you're going to go up in tiers when it comes to your bank accounts. I promise you. And as far as the amount that you should have in the account, I would say you should have at least $3,000 to $5,000 in that account at all times. It should never go below that. It should really never go below 2,000, but 3,000 to 5,000 is a great daily balance. And from the information that I actually took from the business account manager at Chase, he actually told me that having a good, strong daily balance to start off is always super beneficial, and it comes in handy when the underwriting process starts. And this could also work in your favor when you're applying for outside funding as well, because a few lenders want to see your business bank statements, and they sometimes go off of your daily balance, especially like if they attach Plaid to your accounts and things of that nature. So think about it. Even if you have a 680 or better and you have cash flow and a daily balance of $3,000 to $5,000 in your bank account, you look way more trustworthy than the person that has a 790 and only got $300 in the bank account and they trying to get $50,000. You're covering all your bases. They're not. They're just going off of the score. All right, and the last one that I want to give you is, of course, the banking relationship. Look, I know it's people out there that will tell you, hey, look, you can go to this bank right here. You can put $2 in the account and then wait 2 days, and then after that, you'll be able to get $500,000 the next day. Look, I'm not trying to tell you all that information. I've never seen it. So I'm just gonna keep it real with you. You have to have a banking relationship with these lenders. What I did to actually establish that relationship, but what I want you to do is actually walk into that institution, or you can at least call them and ask them, hey, what type of business products do you have? And based on the account that I have with you guys set up, what do you think ballpark my type of approvals that I can actually get? And am I in position to get a loan, a credit card, a line of credit, and more? I promise you, that account manager or underwriter, whoever you're talking to, will give you the right answers. They're not trying to keep it under wraps, people. I promise you they're not. They're trying to help people the best as they can, because they don't want to waste your time, and they definitely don't want to waste their time. They'll tell you, hey, you're in line to get a business credit card. The business loan, you kind of gotta meet these qualifications right here. A line of credit might be a little harder for you, but I would tell you, hey, go after the credit card right here. Based on what you're telling me, you're in front runners, and I would say you can get about 10,000, 8,000, 20,000, 30,000. See what I'm going with this? Also, I would say make sure that the banks are comfortable working with the type of business that you have. So again, some establishments don't actually want to work with people who are in real estate, trucking, restaurants, and things of that nature. The list goes on and on. A lot of banks will not lend to you, or lend very limited, because they deem you high risk. So you have to be aware of your NAICS code. And if you need to know more information about that regarding that, click my latest video and I will give you all the information breaking that down. I promise you, you think this is a lot of work, but it's really not. It's really not. And when you pull the trigger, I promise you, you're gonna get approved for whatever funding you need. And then after that, all you have to do is rinse and repeat the same process at another bank and another bank and another bank. And then you'll turn around, you'll be like, wow, I got over $90,000 in available funding that I can use whatever with. So again, if you follow these steps, I promise you, you will get an unprecedented amount of funding. I promise you, I can guarantee it. But again, I'm curious to know what you guys think. Have you got funding already? Or are you trying to get it? What type of business that you're in? Let me know in the comment section, all right? I want to thank you guys for stopping by. And until next time, ladies and gents.